Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time I'm doing Solar Opposites. This is Hulu's animated series from Justin Roland called Solar Opposites. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first and then we'll get to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, you're going to see at the very end of this video, you're going to see a video pop up here. Basically, what YouTube does takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible. One of the videos, my vast video library, and pops it up there just for you. Here is going to be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? But this one's about HBO Max, is what's going to be up there. If you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com, take a look at my weekly schedule that I have up there. And also, I have all the social media links up there too. So Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon. No tier set up as of yet on the Patreon. I also mirror that schedule over my Facebook page. And also on Facebook, I have a Facebook group page, which you guys can post stuff on and chat amongst yourselves. All right. So, spoiler-free version of this. What is it? What is Solar Opposites? It's an animated series on Hulu, like I said, by Justin Roland and uh, now I'm just blanking on his name. McMahon. McMahon? Yeah. Who's also on Rick and Morty as well. And it's about essentially what it is. It's Rick and Morty, except if they were trapped on Earth, and if instead of being humans among aliens like they normally are, it's aliens that are among humans, is what's going on. And why are they there? Well, they crashed there, so their ship is damaged, and they're trying to repair it, of course, so they can leave. But there's also another wrinkle that's in there too that's explained within the series, so I can't really give it away. That would be a spoiler. So if you are interested in Rick and Morty, if you like Rick and Morty, it's kind of like that, but it's not as all over the place, I guess you can say. It's not as it does mix with different genres and stuff like that, like Rick and Morty does, but it's a little more centered. It uses the premise of being on Earth as kind of their central focal point, whereas Rick and Morty deals with time travel. Uh, you have themes, if you will, like The Purge or those kind of movies, and James Cameron movies and all that kind of stuff. Whereas this kind of goes more with a sci-fi setting, if you will, and will stick with it through an episode while also having some B plots in there too. Is it good? It made me laugh in a few places, but it not as good as Rick and Morty, of course. Um, and the characters, I mean, the characters are pretty much generic. I mean, come on, they have a character named Jerry, Terry. Come on, I mean, you can kind of guess from there. And I'm fairly sure it's got a lot to do with a lot of pot smoking, but go figure on that one. Animators and pot, two things that go together. So yeah, it's is it worth your time? If you have Hulu and you like Rick and Morty, definitely check it out. If you don't have Hulu, but you have iTunes or something like that, I guess you can rent it on iTunes or buy the season on there. If you are really, really, really interested in it, then do it. Otherwise, I would say, you could skip it. There are worse things on TV, definitely, but you really don't need to spend some money on it to, enjoy it, if you will. Like I said, if you already have Hulu, take a look at it, and if you're a fan of Rick and Morty, of course. So for the non-spoiler version out of the way, spoiler alert. Now I'm going to do spoilers. So if you haven't watched any of the series, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video you can comment down below in the comment section. Thank you, Viking Bitch, for the paddle. I had to look where my paddle was now. I've got so much more room here, and I now have a little place for my paddle down below down here, and it's easier to get to. Sometimes if I have to turn and yeah, now I can actually spin around and all that kind of stuff, and you can still hear me, which is the nice thing about it. It doesn't sound like I'm, parallaxing all over the place there. So, spoiler. Um, there were some things about this that I liked, some things that I didn't about this show. Corvo, the main character, one of the main characters, I should say, Corvo, is of course he's the Rick portion of it, but a little bit slower, unhip version of Rick is what he is. He's what if you took Rick, made him an alien, and made him completely unhip to things? That is Corvo. Terry, in the meantime, is just a slacker. He is essentially a stepped up Morty, and but doesn't really do anything. The kids, which are basically clones of both Corvo and Terry. So you have Yumulak and Jesse, and Yumulak is just a fucking asshole. That's pretty much all he is, and that's what he's there for. He's there to be an asshole. He actually finds humans on the street who piss him off, and he shrinks them down and sticks them in what's called the wall. Now, the wall is this gigantic glass thing. Those of you who have watched it, it's a habitat, and he just kind of dumps them in there, and they're small and they have to fend for themselves. And he doesn't even feed them or give them water or anything like that. Actually, Jesse is the one that occasionally dumps in candy. So they actually have a few episodes of people living within the wall and what's going on, and it's pretty horrifying, quite honestly. But uh, yeah, that's what it's all about. The one character that actually makes me kind of laugh because it's a throwback to the old 40s and 50s cartoons is the pupa. So the pupa is this blob, this amorphous blob, and the whole point of this thing is that their planet got destroyed by a comet. Um, a lot of ships left in groups, and so they have two primaries, and then of course their offspring and a pupa. They're supposed to go to an uninhabited planet and let the pupa grow, and the pupa is eventually going to recolonize the planet and make it into one of their a planet like theirs. And that was the hope, was that spreading them out across the universe, one of them would actually take. But these guys crashed on the planet. They have no way of getting off. The pupa could go off at any moment. They don't know when it can happen. And that's actually kind of the funny thing about it is, I mean, at some point you see the pupa change color, and it's like, well, is that a warning sign? Is that not a warning sign? And that actually is where the humor kind of comes in on that, is you don't know when the pupa is going to go off or if it's going to go off, at least probably not until season 3. And that is where you get the humor from it. But also the pupa has these little adventures. It doesn't talk, and he goes off and does these, little side adventures, and it's all mute for the most part. And you've probably heard me say this before on my channel, is if you can tell a story without having dialogue, um, that is an accomplished animator. That is an accomplished storyteller, and that's what they're doing with these little pupa moments where they're showing him not talking and they're having a story going on. And I mean, The Simpsons does this with Maggie as well. So it's essentially The Simpsons too. I mean, it's all kinds of shows, all kinds of animated shows wrapped into one with a sci-fi bent to it, of course. Um, so would I re-up to Hulu to watch the second season? No, no, not really. It's not worth it for me. Um, like I said, there were some parts of it that were funny, but there wasn't enough there for me to want to subscribe. And again, Hulu doesn't have a lot for me going. It doesn't for me. It doesn't have a lot going on, so that's why I don't subscribe to it. And I also subscribe to enough shit as it is that I don't need to pay for another service, another streaming service. So, yeah, there you have it. Um, and like I said, Terry, the character of Terry is just. annoying. Corvo is funny for the most part. Yemulak, an asshole, and Jessie, of course, is a sweet girl. So, is it worth your time? No, it's not. There you go. So, and yes, I know I'm probably gonna have a lot of Rick and Morty fans in the comments going, whatever. I don't care. Uh, yeah, just keep your comments civil. If they're not, I'm just gonna delete you and block you. That's pretty much how it goes. Um, what else do I have going on this week? Tomorrow I'm off. Friday is going to be Harley Quinn. And because I forgot it was on, Artemis Fowl. I didn't realize that Artemis Fowl actually premieres on the Disney Channel on Friday, or Disney Plus, not the Disney Channel. Disney Plus is when it premieres on there. So I am actually going to cover that. I've heard cryptic things about it, so we're going to see what happens. I've heard it's James Bond with fairies. Uh, So, all right, sure, why not? I'll go in on it. It's Disney Plus. How bad can it actually be? We'll see. So yeah, it's gonna be a twofer on Fridays for a little while, and also since Harley Quinn is gonna be leaving, we're on episode 11, and so we only have 13 episodes. I need something for my Fridays to fill in there. Saturday, of course, is going to be Saturday morning blast off, where I take the genre news of the week and any other genre stuff you guys want to talk about, and we talk about it. Sunday, I'm going to be off. Monday is Stargirl. Tuesday, I haven't decided what I'm doing on Tuesday yet. And of course, Wednesday we roll back around to another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And I don't know what I'm going to do for Is It Worth My Time on next Wednesday. I'll figure it out at some point. There's all kinds of stuff to cover. So everyone's kind of quiet out there. There's nobody commenting. I can hear you breathing out there. I see some people in the chat lurking, but nothing going on. Well, if that's the case, I'm gonna let you guys go then. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the very end of the video up here. If you like that, hit the subscribe button. Also, up here is going to be Is It Worth My Time? HBO Max is what's going to be up there. If you want to know when we'll be on live again next, you can hit the bell. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. My schedule is up there, along with all the links to my social media. There we go. So, all right, I'm gonna let you guys go. Have a good night. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may wind up in the wall because some little jerky alien kid didn't like the way you talked to him, or didn't like the way he's got his ice cream served to him, or something like that. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Take care, and I will see you on Friday for Harley Quinn. Night.